Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful, beautiful evening with us on Live with Lloyd, where the joy of numerology is the joy of learning and enlightenment. Hopefully, this time you will be able to hear me. I have no idea what happened. If somebody in the comment section can tell if they are listening to me carefully. On Monday, as you know, yes, on Monday I had my special guest from the Caribbean, Dr. Uchenna, and only toward the last minute of the program, obviously he switched rooms or went into another part of his home that we were able to come through. So I don't know if it was a glitch, whether Mercury is still retrograde, which ends in 2 days on Friday on the 3rd, was acting up. And in fact, my guest that you see on the screen, Dr. Soulcoach, I think is here. He'll be joining us in a moment. And but if you can hear me, please let me know. Hi, Lloyd, you sound muffled. I have no idea what's going on, why this is. Oh boy. Okay. Anyway, thank you for letting me know what's going on. I can either speak up louder or whatever the case is. Even my guest, the soul coach is coming on in a minute, said I sounded muffled. I'm gonna have to get this straight because I don't know what it is. But anyway, those that are calling me, please let me know if this is sounding okay. Anyway, let's see something. 1 second. I'll be right with you. And by the way, this is the forecast for today. Okay. Here's what. Yes, sir. Hey, buddy. Okay, good enough. You need to come online, though. You need to come into the studio. All righty. You scroll to the bottom, it'll say enter into the studio. Okay, but in the meantime, while you're doing that, buddy, I'm going to do the cosmic forecast for today. All righty. Okay. So anyway, everybody, let me tell you what's going on. Today is the first day of a brand new month. Okay. It is the very first of June. I know for some of you, they're glad to get the month of May out the way. The sun is in Gemini. The moon shifted into Cancer late yesterday. Mercury is still retrograde until Friday the 23rd, when it finally ends. Okay, it's a 3 universal month, a 4 universal week, a 4 universal day, which is the kind of day that takes take charge, so to speak, but in a very unusual way. Those signs that are likely to be favored will be Aquarians, Leos, Geminis, Aries, and those that are born on the 1st, the 4th, the 10th, the 13th, the 19th, 22nd, 28th, and 31st of any month. So these will be the beneficiaries of today. I'm going to see what's going on with my guest in a minute. And let me do this. Hold on. Okay. It's here. Alrighty. And let me remove this. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Live with Lloyd, with the joy of numerology, the joy of learning and enlightenment. My guest, I can see in the background, is getting it together. The sound still sounds muffled from one of my able assistants. I wish I knew what the world was going on, why this is so. I've checked everything, my audio. This is where I need a technician, and we're gonna see what's going on. Everyone, is hard. Is it hard for anyone else to hear? Yes. Somebody just passed me a note saying the sound is muffled. Why that is muffled, I have no idea at all. It's kind of crazy. I don't know. It's never happened, but I do need to apologize. And I guess it was on Monday. Dr. Uchenna, he was excellent. He sounded very, very good. It sounded crystal clear. Evidently, I wasn't. But anyway, I kind of really don't know what to do in this case. Other than that, please bear with me. Maybe turning up the screen. It's hard for anyone? Yes, it is. I'm getting it also, Tylene. Tylene has also chimed in and said it is. Is anyone else? Yes, it is hard. Why? I don't know. I think my guest is about ready. Let me see. Hey, Soulcoach, how
Hey,
are you, sir?
hey, how's it going? But I'm still trying to get in from my other device, and it keep having me backstage. You have to let me in. I can't hear you from this device, so we're having a technical difficulty. You're gonna
Well,
have to
I
let
don't
me
know
in from
what's
the other
happened.
device. I've been trying to get on.
I can hear you. You can't hear me?
I have to hang up from this device, and you have to let me on stage from the other device that I'm trying to get on from. So I'm gonna hang this one up.
Okay, good enough. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. Um, I have no idea what is going on, everybody. Uh, I will work this out. I think I'm going to call in a sound person to figure out what this is and maybe hook up with another device in the future. Let me see something. Yeah, his voice, yes, his voice is clear. His voice is crystal clear. That is not the issue. Why am I not crystal clear? Am I crystal clear? It's still muffled. Okay. My mom said I had a voice to carry. I hope maybe you can hear it above the muffle, but I swear by this time next week, I will have this matter resolved because Mercury will be back in motion. That's it. I'm trying to figure out what this is, or everything should be okay. So let's see. Today is somebody's birthday. So Miko, today is Miko's birthday. So while Soulcoach is getting everything together, uh, she said, "Oh, let me put this on the screen." Okay, she says today is her son's birthday. Okay, I got a little excited, Miko. And she got to choose because of a C-section. It was between the end of May dates of 6/1. I chose 6/1 because I had a son born uh, June 18th, and I ended up having a third son on June the 28th. So she likes her month of June. All righty. So here's what I can say. First of all, every single one of her sons are going to be fierce in the following reasons. There's her first or her last son is the number one, whose birthday is today. Number one is the leadership number. Her second son was born on the 18th, all righty? 1 plus 8 is 9, that's the leadership number. And her last son was born toward the end of this month on the 28th, and 2 plus 8 is 10, which is a 1. So she has leader boys in her family. So all of her sons, it must be something else when they're trying to have their way all at the same time. That's all I can say. Um, I'm trying to figure out. Let me see something. Let me see. Coach, are you with me?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. The fact that you could even hear me ask you that, that's a good thing. Can you?
Okay, I think we're gonna have to go with this. We got something working.
Okay,
All right.
listen. Right now, we're going to work with it until I got this back. I'm going to have my doctor back on at some point in the not so distant future, and we'll have you back on too. But first of all, so Coach, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. How about yourself?
Fine, thank you. Question. How did you get the name Soul Coach? What gave you that name?
Well, that's a good question. Um, I was introduced to numerology back in 2014. A young lady friend of mine, just came to me one day and was like, "Hey, you're a 7." I'm like, "What? What is that?" So I just immediately went to YouTube and read a few, listened to a few characteristics or whatnot, and I said, "Wow!" I was blown away. I'm like, "Man, that's crazy. It sounds like me." So after maybe about 3 or 4 years go by of consistent study, I found like a passion. I was like, well, shit, I'm helping myself. I've healed myself in so many ways. This type of knowledge, I want to find a way where I can give this type of energy to the world. So I said, well, shoot, since I'm so well-rounded in holistic affairs, I've been a personal trainer, massage therapy. I'm familiar with Reiki, you name it. So I said, well, damn, I need to come up with the name. Every good superhero needs the name and theme music. So I came up with Soul Coach, and the identity of Soul Coach is to spread this type of information throughout humanity and let everybody know that we all equal, however not the same.
You know what? That is true in every sense of the word. We are equal to a degree, but at the same time, we are. And you can see me with you. You can see me with you, right? Can you still hear me a little bit?
I hold on one second. I'm getting some audio.
Okay.
Give me
But
a
at
good
any rate,
second.
we're going to see, and you are also. Well, first of all, you are a motivational speaker. You are a health and fitness expert. You wear a couple of hats, and so as a result of it, um, the one thing you also do is you are an author, which we're going to talk about, and of course the numerology part. So we're going to see what you can do.
Mr. Law, I'm sorry. I can't hear a word you're saying. I'm gonna have to stop you. I'm trying to get these headphones to work. I'm having technical difficulties with devices. This is all Mercury retrograde activity. It's proven that it's a real thing. It's happening to me right now in real time. This is crazy. So if you can
Well, don't worry. Listen, you can imagine how I feel. I'm going to tell you, this is the first time, beginning this past Monday and today, that I'm getting this muffle effect. It's so interesting. Dr. Uchenna on Monday said it sounded like I was underwater. And I spoke to somebody right after that that said they were on the phone talking to somebody, and they would describe the person described them as sounding as if they were underwater. So I'm hoping that this will straighten up soon. I don't know what I've tried to push every gadget, every button, but I can find the puppy, and let's see something here. How we okay, you backstage, okay. But anyway, so we're gonna do the best we can. That's what we're gonna do. And but I got an interesting lineup coming to you next Monday and next Wednesday, which is the 6th of June and the 8th of June.
okay,
Okay, let's see something here, buddy.
I have to log out and log right back in because I literally can hear nothing. I have these things are not syncing.
You know what's interesting? You were hearing me just a little
Okay,
while ago,
I,
right?
now, I can hear you now. Okay,
You can hear me
let's
now?
yeah, let's roll with it, man.
Okay, good enough, good enough. First of all, you are out of this. You out of. You know, I know that. I know when you did it like that. Let's see what we're gonna do.
You know, hey,
Um,
I'm like a perfectionist, man. I got Saturn and Jupiter conjunct my ascendant. I'm going all astrological on you now, but boy. Anyway,
how long? Listen, which came first in your life, numerology or astrology then numerology?
numerology actually came first. That's what kind of, that's the fruit I bit that I just couldn't let go of, and that led me into the rabbit hole of everything. Just finding out I was a seven, which is obviously the seeker of truth and knowledge and wisdom. I would like to think I embodied the archetype perfectly because that's how I even have fun. I love learning about myself and this type of knowledge. Period. The, the,
Yeah,
the,
but that makes sense because seven is about research, analysis, investigations, things of that nature, and so I would imagine when you say a seven, for those that don't understand, that is because someone took the month, the day, and the year you were born. Is that correct?
you're right. If you said the month, day, and the year,
Yes.
yes, my life path is seven.
Yeah, and that factored out to a seven. So, now let me ask you this. In addition to this, and see, this is one thing when we're doing things live, things are happening in real time. Um, but for you to now, which came first? When you were doing, you said you were a Reiki master, you were a fitness trainer. How long were you in
Well,
fitness training?
well,
How did all this start? Back up. Start from the
yeah, let
beginning.
me just back it
How
off.
did all of this start?
I got a hell of a story. Okay, so I grew up a little
And
chubby.
you need to sit forward just a little bit, buddy. There we go.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
good.
uh, just to bring it back a little bit, how my journey started. I started out as a lost, little chubby kid. Okay, it's all in my self-titled book, The Soulcoach. Count it all. All right, it's like it's a tale about everything. So anyway, I started out kind of chubby with no direction whatsoever. Ended up landing in a little bit of trouble when I was 17 years old. Not
Hmm.
trouble. I got through on my sentence, so everything is kind of big when it happens. I got arrested by the Secret Service and the FBI at 17 years old. Imagine the Secret
Ho. You got arrested by who?
The Secret Service, now they flagged us, so be careful when we say that. We listen to this whole damn interview. But I was arrested by the Secret Service and the FBI at the tender age of 17 years old. Now, did I deserve that type of attention? Absolutely not. However, my stars called for that type of attention. It was white collar crime. They called it organized crime. Was I guilty? Absolutely. Was I, how can I put it? Was I just impressed by the wrong energy and was following? Absolutely.
Yeah,
so, it was victimless crimes. However, the type of crimes involved some type of, you had to have a mind in order to do it. It was all based off of forgery. So, long short, ended up getting in trouble there. Ended up going to jail at 18 years old, right? So, out the gate, I had this mindset. I'm not going to say doomed, but I knew that I wasn't going to be president. I was never going to be mayor. So, I knew I had to do for self. So, I was always in the self out the gate. Going through those channels, 18 years old, I actually went to prison. I went to boot camp first. That's how the fitness got into play. They sent me to boot camp because they called it organized crime and made me a ringleader. And as a condition of my probation was to complete this 92-day program, which I did not. Right? That's a whole nother journey. But I went through the full 90 days and got recycled at the end of it, only to go back to the beginning. Well, that didn't sit well with me, so I ended up sitting my time out in real prison. Okay, learning how to do for self as I gained all the little weight that I lost in boot camp. I gained it all back just because I lack of knowledge sitting in jail. So I started reading and working out, and I taught myself exactly what they did to me. They ran me and they starved me, which is not the way to do it. But I understood what they did and how they did it. So I took from that, and now obviously it made me who I am today. But so I took from that, and when I got out, I did a year and a half. I got out, and that's what I did with my life. As soon as I got out at 19 years old, I went to college, Houston Community College, got my certificate right out the gate. I knew I wasn't going to go for no degrees. It wasn't going to serve me. Like I said, I'm not going to be president. So I got my certificate and I went to work. I started serving my community as a personal trainer. Got lucky and started working with celebrities and ball players. That's a little into the story. But early on, I mean, like out the gate, it was a blessing.
That is amazing. And how you would wind up on somebody else's radar like that, who knows? But things like that happen, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So in addition to personal trainer and health and fitness person, what about, you said you also Reiki master?
Well, I'm familiar with the art of Reiki because right after massage school, I'm a businessman first and foremost. So right after massage school, I was like, well, damn, well, not massage school, training school. I was like, how can I, take my business to another level? Maybe 3 years after I was finished. And I was like, well, I'm giving people pain, right? But where's the pleasure? Nobody likes to work out, but everybody likes the results. So I said, well,
that is true. That's true.
Right, both directions, pleasure and pain. So I went and I started learning massage therapy. I went to the HC again, college here in Houston. Had one of the best massage programs, period, in my opinion. And I learned about the art of touch. Okay, I learned how to do Swedish massage. And from that point, obviously, just being involved with that type of energy, that type of work, I gravitated toward Reiki and all of that good stuff. And I never went and did it professionally or anything like that, but I was heavily into it due to my fascination with this type of information. Even though I wasn't even into astrology yet, I knew there was something more than what was taught to me early on, and that's another
now,
story.
Question: would you say you're kind of self-taught in the world of astrology, numerology?
Absolutely. Well, absolutely. You told me a few things, Lloyd. I got your it's right on my wall. I have to show you right the numbers in you certificate right there. But I taught myself when a young lady brought me to number 7. I just lost myself, man, in just constant YouTubes and traveling. I actually traveled. I traveled the globe. I've been to Egypt, Turkey, you name it, in search of this type of information. So I'm really self-motivated, self-taught. That's the kind of person that my early experiences kind of made me that way. Being, like I said, out the gate, 17 years old, I knew I wasn't going to be president. So it automatically told me, hey, get in gear and start planning for who you are and what you can do for yourself throughout your life.
So to me, I think you're the president of your own destiny, because that is the nature. That is the nature, because you're born. Your destiny is the 7, but you're born on the 27th, which is a 9. 9 the number that like to be the master of their fate and the captain of their ship. They like to determine their own destiny in the end. So, so when you say you're not the president of that, you're the president of controlling your life. The fact that nine is universal, global, international, and you travel in your search to gain this esoteric knowledge. This says a lot for you.
Yeah, yes, sir. One moment, Lord. I can't hear you. I heard most of what you said about the 27, but absolutely, I feel I am the president of my fate and my destiny. Everything I do, it's out the gate as a child. My father, when I was raised to work. Man, I cut grass every day, every weekend, every summer. That's how I bought my school clothes, you name it. My father taught me, instilled in me what work ethic was. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Amongst other things, because even damn, I'm gonna go back a little far. I think I was 7 or 8. Me and my sister had a cool cup store. You know what old school cool cups are, right?
Yeah.
We was a neighborhood cool cups shop. So what that taught me was about supply and demand. Obviously, it taught me about inventory. It taught me about how to, like, we had to take. Hey, me and my sister, man, we in elementary, so we had to separate the product re-up from our profits. You know, so we learned. I was doing that super early in life. So when the transition came to adulthood to start doing for self, working for self, my mentality was already that anyway. So it's like I was being groomed to be my own personal emperor out the gate. You know, that 27 definitely, like you say, it's a real deal.
Yeah, there's no question. Well, what we're going to do is this. Obviously, as someone said, Jackie Fillmore, you were, as she put it, and I like it at the bottom of the screen, you were divinely guided and blessed. So, sometimes things happen for a reason that we don't quite understand. You know what I'm saying? But in the end, it turns out to be a blessing in disguise. Like you said, starting out as a chubby kid, and then what happened is you transition and went through that experience and whatnot. So you still can't hear me, I take it, right?
Well, barely. I'm making it.
Okay, good. Well, don't worry, we're gonna do the best we can with this. But what we're gonna do is, I will ask you this too. Your book. Hold up, let me bring your book up. Okay.
Count it all by
Here
the
we are.
soul.
Yeah, and this is it on the screen. Tell us about your book.
Okay, well, if you even remotely interested or curious about anything I've said this far, a lot of this is in my book because this book is, I like to call it high octane information to be a winner. What I did was I outlined a lot of my life's incidents and I gave little hidden jewels about how to counteract everything well, how I counteract everything that happened or how you should, shall I say, because it's not an autobiography where I can say, oh yeah, everything happened to me this way. It's more so like a teaching tool. You know, this is a book that I think every young man should have on his mantle because it teaches you how to tap into what I would like to say common sense, because common sense isn't too common nowadays. This taps into that local part of your brain that's very, shall I say, it's kind of being shunned nowadays due to the high levels of emotion that's out today, how we making our decisions. So basically, this book is from a divine masculine perspective on how a man should be a man, and it has something in it for females as well. Don't let me just kind of discard everybody because it's for everybody. But when I was writing it back in 2016, what I had in my mind was really myself. I'm a young black man in America, so it's really geared toward letting people know that there's no dead end. There's never an ending. You know, we never die. We only transform. To be honest with you, and when you meet that roadblock, you know, as a one path knows about, when you constantly meeting them dead ends, it's about
Yeah.
perseverance. The answer is usually forward. So I preach that a lot in my book with everything. If you sit still and get stagnant, that's how depression sets in. You know, that's how you start to lose yourself. But if you just keep moving, you're bound to run into something. One of my old G's that many years ago. So youngster, if you keep your feet moving, you're bound to run into something. Just keep moving. That's the main thing I like to preach. Just keep moving. You know, don't let the pressure of the world get you down where you forget who you are. And numerology is the perfect tool to let you know who you are. Some of us are meant to take those mistakes. I got a chapter in my book all about the mistakes that we make in life and the mistakes. The mistakes are created events. These are the things that are going to happen. You know, you got free will. You can kind of gauge how it happens to a degree, but something's going to happen to make you feel or go through what you went through, just so you can get that lesson. And that's what my book is all about, really, man. Just taking your L's and making blessings out of it. You know, like I said, I was doomed at the gate, but my life is great. You know, I came in late, but I came in great, Lord.
Well, that's good. And you know what's interesting? You said you published it in 2016, right?
I wrote it in 16. Okay, so glad you said that. Here we go. So I wrote it in 2016 after a hiatus. I had let's just put it this way. My life had took a turn, and when I learned this information in 13, 14, when I kind of started really getting into this stuff, I took a hiatus from the workforce, and I focused strictly on this, and I just kind of invested, right? So that was a real special time in my life because I had a lot of time for me. I traveled. I did things outside of the norm, you know, and I've been in the music industry. I've done a lot, man. I've traveled with bands. So I kind of took all of my lessons throughout life, and I'm a saver now. I'm really good. I'm a keen investor. So for like 4 years, I just kind of sat into this knowledge and kind of groomed myself to the role that I wanted to become, which is the soul coach, which is a motivational speaker, AstroNumerologist. Every shun of advice that I give you will always have some form of astrological perspective to it, even if it's health and fitness advice, because even in your chart, it's all there. You know, this is the one component that I was missing when I was strictly just training and doing massage therapy. Well, I wish I would have done back then. But you know.
Yeah, but see, everything is on time. But the reason why I said that, because when you wrote the book in 2016, those four numbers add up to a number 9, and you're born on the 27th, which is a 9. So I just thought that was very interesting. That's all.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was definitely a year of endings. That's when everything began to change. I saw some things burn down and some things just kind of, you know, shift into a whole another realm. You know, I went through actually astrology. I did numerology first. So around that time when I wrote this book, shortly right after I wrote this book, when I was going through what I was going through, I did something that I never had done. I really took I went to a relationship and I took it seriously as far as like the whole move-in thing. Like it was all intentional, right? So I did it and it didn't quite pan out the way I envisioned it, which is very common. It's no big deal. I'll go through what we go through. So when that happened, let me rewind a little bit. What makes it interesting is the reason why I felt at the time why it happened. The young lady had a friend that did tarot, and I'm so competitive, Lord. I got a lot, like I got like 17 ones in my name. It's crazy. 7 of them, right? So the young lady had a friend who was a tarot reader, and at the time, money was. Like I just told you, I'm kind of retired for what I'm doing. I'm not exactly hurting for money, but at the same time, I'm not generating like I'm used to. So I'm like, okay, some of these little habits that we don't need to stop, and that was one of them. So what he did was somehow found a way to manipulate the situation to where I was no longer an issue, to where he could that check and keep coming, which is the shadow side of this type of science where you got to watch people. That's why it's important to know thyself so nobody tell you anything, right? So here's the thing that happened. And me and my ego, I allowed it to happen, or I saw it happen, allowed it to happen. But now that it happened, I'm like, well, damn, how did he do it? Oh no, that could never happen again. And how did he do it? So when that happened with me, that's when I picked up astrology, and it was like Pandora's box was just blown open, because now it gave me a different understanding of numerology. Numerology initially, when I was using it, was more like a personality tool. It's kind of like a quick personality tool. I can read people and I know who to deal with and who I shouldn't deal with, you know, because I've been through a lot. I've been burnt a lot. So, you know, I use numerology a lot for that. Like, it's a quick divination tool, really fast. When you're good at it, it's just like this, clockwork. So when I picked up astrology, it gave me a base. It gave me a whole nother realm of a layer of knowledge to what I already knew. And I was like, wow, this is how people do. This is amazing. This is how mysticism starts to come in when people be taking advantage of people and all that. I'm like, this is how they do it. And it's not magic. It's simply, I know something you don't know, dude. You know, that's all it is. I know something that you don't know. And the fact that I have the courage to look at it, that's the key. That's the trigger. I got the courage to actually look at it and take that next step to even apply it. That's the key. So, you know, when I started picking astrology, that's when I knew for a fact that this was the road I wanted to take in my life, because I felt that I'm like, well, shit, you know, I see the from a 360-degree aspect of it. I see the shadow sides of it, and I see the light sides of it. And it's all, and the power it's about, power corrupts. Power makes a good man crooked. How they put it, a straight man crooked.
If they're not balanced, I have to agree.
Absolutely. And I look at myself as somebody who, I've been through a lot, and I'm no stranger to authority, and I'm no stranger to being a leader, a follower, the whole nine. I've done it all. So I say, well, who would I choose to lead me? I would choose right now, especially in this climate. Hell, I'm gonna lead me, right? So, you know, to whom much given, much required. I really understand that. I really feel like this is another purpose of this book. I feel like I'm a role model, and I'm really fit to lead a people, you know, in general. I feel like I have that in me. I lead my life by example. 4 in the morning, get up. I'm going to the gym, ride a bike. I'm doing every clockwork. You know, I'm really like that. I balance a checkbook. I'm really like that. And these are I believe your habits are your religion, right? It's not what you go sit in the building and preach all day and listen to. All. It's not it. What do you do every day when nobody's looking? That's who you really are. That's who you are. It's not who you say you are. It's what you do when nobody's looking and what other people define you as. So I like to think. Well, not even like to think. When just looking at from a blind side, like a fly on the wall, my daily routine puts me in a position to call myself a role model. I'm sorry. Did you say something?
No, I didn't say anything other than that is the mark of disciplined people. It's what you do when you're by yourself. Because people can always front in front of other people.
Absolutely.
People can always pretend or front, because that's what they used to say here in Harlem. Oh, you be fronting, which means
right.
You just be profiling.
All cap.
Yeah, but it's what you do when you're not fronting, when you're by yourself. And most successful people get their butts up early in the morning, or they get into their routine, whether it's meditation, exercise, push-ups, walking, whatever the case. But that's what makes them who they are.
Absolutely.
So now, what we're going to do is we're going to turn this over so people can get an idea of what you do on the astrological side of things, astronumerical side of things. All right.
Okay, splendid.
Okay, here we go. One of the first persons, their birthday is coming up on Friday. They're at the bottom of the screen. Can you see it?
Okay. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, that's their birthday. So, in a word, now listen. There are tons of people on the line. The brother can't read everybody, but he's going to give you an idea of what you can do. And so, you got it. So, Coach, what do you see for this person born June the 3rd?
Okay, well, June the 3rd came in a very interesting year of the Master Builder, the 22. This gives you a massive networking ability. Being a Gemini, which is the air sign, automatically makes it light with communication. Far as, how can I put it? Jack of all trades, master of none. Focus and learn to commit to something is one of the lessons I would tell somebody with this number. But at the same time, not really, because their path is the 4, which is all about stability. So this is something they'll get, but this is through lessons. Got a 9 attitude number, no stranger to endings, right? This is all about death and transformation. This is a wise old soul with the gift of youth, within having that Jupiter number on the gift. Give you a little bit more, and then we're gonna move on. You are currently in a personal year. Your birthday right up the street. So you're going into that Venus energy, right? You're going into that 6 energy, which is all about responsibility and family. This came out that vacation energy, which is all about, hedonism, meeting people, travel, all of those type of good things. 5 is a very blessed number, it's Mercury. So it's all about taking that break from that year before where you was on a consistent routine. But this year's all about love, appreciation, finding your values, and above all, making sure you're responsible. Because that 22 is that master builder.
Excellent. Before we get to this next person at the bottom of the screen, I lost my thought just like that. I wanted to ask a question, but in the meantime, though, this person, Martha Baptiste, she is born October the 22nd. What do you say about her?
Okay, I see. October the 22nd. Well, that is a Libra, right? No, is it a Scorpio? She's a customer for the most part.
Yeah, that's right. She's a borderline. Yeah, she's cusping.
Okay, interesting soul. Got that 22 on her gift number. That's the master builder. The 2 is an interesting number because it comes with high levels of emotion. You got 2 of those. But if somebody really have to be guarded emotionally and understand how that works, because if not, it will lead to layers of manipulation, which will hurt with that 4. 4 is all about being honorable and honest and keeping a solid foundation, the emotions tend to get in the way of the money. Master that, you got it figured out. Being that Libra Scorpio axis, that's all about other people, money, and relationships, power and control, right? You got a little bit of all of that. This is an interesting birthday because you got a little bit extra to master, but no worries. But you got help with you that's been here before. Let's check out your path. That's a 10, 16, 21, 22. Oh, you're an 8. All right. And it looks like a 44 base, so that's interesting. If you master these lessons on how to deal with people throughout your life, all these hard lessons and restrictions that you're going through as you get older, life just gets better and better, especially in your greater years with that 3. 3 is all about expansion. That's Jupiter. All right. So moving on to the next one.
Question: do you read your clients, the people that you work on, whether it's Reiki or physical fitness? Do they ask you? Do they know that you
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely, man. Listen, my life revolves around astrology and numerology. If I'm doing a massage session and we're talking, more likely I'm doing a reading at the same time. We're training. You know, I'm like a life coach, but I'm a little different. I don't like to put myself in a box at all because I do so many things, right? But it's more,
Yeah.
it's a life from an astrological perspective, right? And I'm pretty thorough. We believe in getting it done. Whatever those goals are, we're going to meet.
Good, good. I got another person for you. Doris Smith. She is born on the 7th of August.
Okay. Got an 8 life path, right? That's another. 8 is the number that's guaranteed. If you do the work and you're honest, it's guaranteed fortune throughout this life. It's the number of big business, all right? You got 2 of them because you're born in the month of August, and that's your path, right? So that's a good thing. Be careful not to make money your God. When I say money your God, you are a Leo, right? Leos are all about being the center of attention, fame, and all of that good stuff, creativity. But you got a 6 on the way you see things, right? I like to look at it like this: 6 is love and money, and 8 is money and love, right? So don't get lost in between the 2. Leo is all about courage and fortitude. So don't, as the 6, your foresight number, be careful picking up broken people, places, and things, and trying to fix them because that 8 number is already enough weight. If that makes any sense to you whatsoever, it's all about weight. And your ego number is the number 1, right? It's the challenge number for you. So you have the mentality, oh, I can do it, even though that 8 is beating your ass, telling you should not. Listen to yourself more. You're the king. Leo is the king of the zodiac for a reason. You got all of the gifts. And with that 7, you got high levels of imagination and creativity. Just be mindful that the blessings of the number 7 are in the spirituality in the mind, not the body. So watch your health. Number 8 will make you pay for it if you're not careful. Make sure you stretch, do yoga every day if you can. Do that because it will help you become uninflexible. If that makes sense. As above, so below. Inflexibility of body is inflexibility of mind. With a name like Doris, the D is a 4, so that's even more inflexibility that you have to watch. So just little tidbits.
Very good. This one, Vicky Wright at the bottom. Let me see. Hold on. There it is, Vicky Wright. She's born February 18th.
Okay. Aquarius, one of my best friends born on that day. Watch your internal anger issues. I would automatically tell you that. Watch your emotions. Emotions are the gateway to everything. You got 3 brains: your generate, operate, destroy, right? Everything is filtered from the stomach brain before it gets to the mind. So if your diet is bad, Aquarius, right, with the 2 energy, 2 is all about the stomach because it's the moon, it's Cancer, it's the way you see things, your attitude number. If your diet is bad, you're going to have problems in the way you think, and the way to your Aquarius, you get quick insight. The way that information comes to you is flawed if your diet is bad. Right, you need to work on. So let's see something else. You got 10, 15, 23. That's a 5, 7, and 9. You're a 7 pack. It's all about knowing thyself. All right, it's all about you. Everything I'm telling you is super. It's all about you learning who you are and how your ship, your macabre, your body, how you're supposed to operate, what type of food you're supposed to feed it. Music, food, friends, all of it is important because the 7 is the number that needs extra rest. And you're an Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign of the people, brotherly love, right? But your path is all about getting to yourself, learning who you are, and connecting to your higher self and not just Joe Blow average. Watch them attachment issues, all right? Your challenge number is the same as your path. You will figure it out. It may take some time, but you'll get it. Your lessons involve around people and endings.
I like how you do this. You're good. You're good.
That means a lot coming from you, master teacher. I appreciate that.
You're really, really good at this. This is the next one. This person want to know what kind of move they're about to make. So they're born on November the 20th. They're at the bottom of the screen.
Okay. The next move. Okay, so instead of doing a general reading like I was doing for those, we're gonna talk a little bit about past, present, future for you. All right. You are you're a Sag, right? Or a cusp or something like that. Yeah, you're a Sag for the most part. Freedom is always on the agenda for Sagittarius people. So I can imagine your next move is super important to you. So let's see where you are now. You are in the year of 9 endings, right? You haven't quite made it to the. Okay, so I do my numerology a little different. On the personal years, I do it from the birthday instead of January. Some numerologists do it the other way. Each
Yeah,
is on.
Brandon Smith does that also, my buddy. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I like. I
Continue.
look at. Actually, I use them both, but just to keep it simple, the most important one is the birthday. But where you are right now, young, well, I can't tell you young lady or male, but where you are right now is a year of endings, right? And that's been ever since your birthday of November. That continue traveling across the world because this is all about really your past decade of life and what you're going to take with you into your new cycle of 9 years and what you're going to discard and leave behind. Very important that you understand who is who right now because the weight that you carry with you on your next cycle of 9 years is going to dictate what happens. It's all karma right now. It's all you working through your karma. 9 is Mars, and Mars is all about action and movement and instinct. It's about, Scorpionic and Aries. So it's pioneering as well as being a detective of knowing what you're dealing with and who you're dealing with. So the previous year before that, right, in 2021, that whole year was about building for you. That was all about money, right? That was all, well, yeah, the year previous to that 9, your birthday in from 20 to 21 was all about money and building. Once you got to that 9, which is now, is all about ending. But that money and building, be mindful. Everything that happened to you that year, those are Saturn lessons. All of the increases that you got, you need to be mindful of what you do with them because this is the year where you're going to probably need them because you need to discard the things that you don't need. So it can play out in a lot of ways. Good way to offset is to become humanitarian. 9 represents that. Start giving away things you no longer need. Clean out that closet. You'd be surprised what you would do for yourself if you start shedding weight that you no longer need. It'll open up your mind more where you think that where you're headed though, right? As of your birthday this year, is that one energy. You're headed wherever you want to go. This is the great ego, right? Not necessarily easy God out. We're going to look at it from a good perspective. You are going to attract the big fish. If you're an entrepreneur, you will attract the owner of the company that can give you that big contract. So now's the time to take your shot. Whatever you want to do, you got the full blessings of Jupiter and every planet in the universe can say, go ahead, because the sun is the center of the universe, represented by the one, and it's the king. It's telling you green light. So this is as your birthday come this year. But before then, right now, your focus needs to be not in moving forward so much as what you're going to do brand new. It needs to be about what you're going to let go of so you can do something brand new. So it's be planning and shedding like a snake, shedding your skin, constantly shedding, constantly shedding. By the time you get to next year, well, your birthday this year, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You're halfway there.
Very good. Very good. I like that. Here's another person. This is Freddie Jr., who was born on the 31st of March.
Okay, Freddie Jr. You came in an interesting year too. That argumentative 8, the 26 over 8. That's the one that sibling rivalry. I like to call that number. You got to be right. Watch that. Power.
That is the number of burglary to the compound. You're absolutely right. To the
Yeah,
negative, the compound number 26 is the number of burglary and racketeering.
absolutely. So that year, 1988, interesting year. A lot of interesting people came through that year. You got some dog in you. Tame it. Don't let it run you. Run it. All right, because the number 8 will punish you. It is the great punisher that is Saturn. You reap what you sow. If you plant an apple, you will not get a tomato. You're going to get an apple every time. Know that. So everybody got a lot of 8 in their chart. If they, the ones that do bad things with a group of people, they'll notice that they'll be the first ones to get caught, especially early on. It's how it works because 8 is trying to teach you something. You're going to 88, so that's anytime it's doubling up, you want to take a look at it, right? So let's see who you are. You got the 8, you got the 4, that's 12, and the 3. So that's 15, you're a 6. Let me double check one more time. 26, 27, 30, 33. Not just any 6. I would reach you as a 33, which is the one that needs to really learn to accept those apologies. They just ain't coming, man. And you got it bad because you'll see things through the eyes of the 7. The 7 and the 33 are very similar. I got the exact same in the reverse. I got the 33 up front, 7 in the back. This is, and you are a Taurus. No, you're an Aries. I'm sorry.
Aries. Yep.
So you
Aries.
got the pioneer. All right, don't be afraid to go it alone, and you have to be mindful of the people that you decide to keep around you, because everybody drains you. You are the giver, the rock of the family. You are the one that likes to keep everything in harmony, but not really, because that it would be your opposing energy, which is Libra. You are a Aries, which is more for the self, and don't ever forget that, because the 7 and that 33 become over people pleaser, and that's crazy to be an Aries and be a people pleaser at the same. Don't never do that. So when you find yourself in the energy of, this is for me, I'm doing for self. If you're selfish, you're not necessarily wrong all the time. But here's where it gets tricky. Your path is to learn to kind of break that and give up yourself. Don't really worry about nothing in return. Kind of just allow. Be having a 7 on your foresight number, your attitude number, that means this number has been with you since the day you were born. So you're no stranger to doing this, but your ego may conflict with it, because this is the energy where you got to learn to accept loss. Areas like the wind, the numbers say you got to learn to accept a loss. But that don't mean you're a loser. That means that you are greater than the average, and that means to whom much given, much required. You need to learn to allow people with humility to shine and be who they are, and still you be who you are, right? But at the same time, discernment. Don't let people trample you. Take the time for yourself, take what's yours, and keep it balanced. You're gonna have to really learn the energy of Libra for your life path to really have a fruitful life in the way you need it to. And that 8 gonna make sure you do it.
Very good. Next we have Electric Rhapsody. They're born February 28th of 1969.
Okay. Here we go. We got us one of my best friends is born on this day. You're Pisces. Got the energy of the number 1, which makes you that's your foresight number, right? So it makes you a leader to a degree. It gives you the attitude of somebody who likes to start things, pioneer things, right? Gives you a quick temper too at times. You got to watch that. You can be a firecracker. 1 is the ego, right? You got a lot of that. The number 28 represents, you might not want to hear this, brace yourself. Number 28 represents the number of divorce. You more than likely experience some form of loss or separation with a partner in your lifetime to teach you something, because you got a lot of 2 energy, and that's the great attachment issue. You can't ask for help with your chest out at the same time. That's a lesson I would give somebody with your numbers. So let's look at your path. 10, 15, that's the 25, that's the delusional one, the 7. So yeah, I'm right. That's 7, 8, 9, 10. So you're 1. So that's all about, really, you got a lot of 1 energy. Accept those defeats and keep getting up, dusting yourself off, keep going. The word and the phrase I would give you for your entire life path, I can't tell you nothing else. Remember this word: forward. Forward is usually this. Let's go, Floyd. You got me hot now. I'm on
Good, good. I love it. I love it. Okay, next we got Jessica, who was born February 23rd. You're doing great.
Okay, February 23rd. All right. So we got us we got here? We got us another. Is this a Pisces or Aquarius? Pisces, I think, is a 24, but
Yeah, I
nevertheless.
say Pisces. Definitely Pisces.
So we got us another creative Pisces. Not just any Pisces. You got a Pisces with a 7 on the attitude number. 7 is Neptune. Neptune is the energy of Pisces. So you got to watch the sensitivity levels, because that's Pisces and Cancers are the most sensitive signs of the zodiac. Off the muscle, really watch that. You have an energy of detachment, which is good. You need that. That's why you got it, because it will help with sensitivity levels. Having that 7 in the way you see things, being able to detach and live in your imagination at times while the world is doing what it's doing. Your path is 10 and 15. Oh, well, yeah, a lot of people is born in the energy of 7 on this card. 10 and 15, that's 7, that's 30. Okay, so you're a 5. So it's really, your path is all about learning how not to get stuck, how not to get lost too far out in those Piscean waters of your imagination. 5 is the number of balance. So you got to learn to pull it on back in, because your attitude number wants to go far out with your imagination, right? And even allow yourself to be a people pleaser, or somebody who needs to find and understand how to set clear boundaries better. You got a lot of that around you. Boundaries is a word that I would tell you to really, really understand this time around. You got this little small self-confidence issue too that doesn't serve you anymore. You're far past the age of it supposedly bothering. That's the number 3. It's all about understanding, and you have a lack of understanding. Something may even freeze you at times from doing things. But that's all about, if you reinforce your faith, which is that 7, I know you got this because it's early in life. If You reinforce that faith, that 7, all that takes care of itself. That's just really just going out there and just doing it. Don't even worry about what, just do it. All right, that's a lesson, an energy I would tell you to master too.
Very good. This one here is now they're interesting. They said they're born on June the 17th. Their life path, and they said what best signs and birthdays would be a good fit for them.
Okay, they want to know what mate would be good for them.
Yeah, this is Filthy Rich. Yep, they says which sign and birthday would be good for them. I guess not only the
Okay,
zodiac sign but the date of birth too, which I know. But this is your piece.
let's take a look at it. Okay, so well, when you a little knowledge before I go into the compatibility, when you're looking at it from an astrological perspective for the signs, you want to look at your moon sign. The moon sign is more important when it comes to your intimate relationships, because the sun sign, that's your actions, right? Like this brother is a Gemini, so that's his sun sign, and that's his predominant actions in the world, how he goes about doing things, right? And everybody sees that, but his mates are going to know him from a whole angle. They're going to know the truth. They're going to know the softer side, what makes him tick. Your first brain is in your stomach. That's the Cancerian energy, the queen, the mother, right? The one who really runs shit. So that's your moon. So the moon is all about your feelings, your intuition, and how you feel about something usually triggers to how you think about something, right? Long we can go into that debate, but that's how I look at it. But as far as your path, you are a 10, 18, 21, 28, 29. You're an 8, right? So you need somebody that really understands how to be logical, standing, and how to take orders. You don't need nobody who has no ego and stand up to you. Like, you need somebody who understands that. I'm not gonna say they're your employees, because 8 is Saturn, right? Saturn is all about getting it done. That's the workhorse. That's the boss. That's the general. So you need somebody who's not in their ego and understands that you are the leader, and they're gonna follow you no matter where you lead them to. Because 8 is also about loyalty. If you look at 8 in the astrology, it's the Scorpionic house. 8 is Scorpio in astrology. So it's all about loyalty, deep love. It's not the best at expressing his emotions and feelings, right? So, but being a Gemini is weird. That actually serves you being a Gemini. It makes you a boss. You got 2 of them because you're born on the 17th. So you really need somebody who has a lot of good Saturnian energy. Maybe a Capricorn, because that is 8, right? A Capricorn would do well with you. As far as numbers, you probably want to stay away from somebody got a 1 energy. Y'all gonna bump heads. I would think somebody that with a 2s and 8s work great together, right? 6 and 8 would work well. It's Venus. Let's well, 5 is Mercury. 5 really can work with anybody. And since you are a Gemini, that would be good too. Somebody with a lot of 5 energy born on the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd. I like the way you do that, Lloyd. When you're like, oh yeah, they got this signs and this day, this one. You got this clockwork. I'm like, okay, let me think about that one. But,
you know, it's interesting. I thought of Kanye West because this is his birthday, June 17th.
No, Kanye is June 8th, but it's the same
That's
thing.
right. That's right. Excuse me. He's June 8th. Thank you. You're absolutely right.
Look, my mother's birthday is June 8th, so I know that one. I better know that one.
Okay. Now this one is born October the 2nd. Booyah Bee.
Okay, October the 2nd. Got another Libra. I love Libras. My ascendant sign is Libra. Hopeless romantics they are. I'll tell you this, watch being scattered early on. You're born in 77, so you know this lesson. You know, I got like a hummingbird sniffing the flowers. If you like this one, like that one, this is a Libra quality, especially somebody got 3s and 1, and you got the challenge of the 1. That's the ball. That's the ego, right? So, let's check out your path before I start going into that. 10, 17, 14. So you came in the energy of Venus, which is good for you, a Libra. That's your ruling planet. 6, 8, 9, but you're wow. So here we go. So
Got it.
Your path is 9, which is all about separation and understanding how to end things that no longer serve you. Your entire life is spent getting rid of people, places, and things that no longer serve you. But it's also about being a humanitarian. You're shedding these things so you can grow and keep being a light and a beacon of light amongst the people. You're the judge. Libra represents the judge. Your greater years are going to be good, though, but you have to understand how to balance out that 9 and that 6. 9 is Mars, 6 is Venus. You're born in 77, so we can tell those greater years aren't here yet, but they're on the way. This is all about harmony. This is where your life gets a little better. This is about peace, blessings, harmony, and balance. This is where you find love, if you haven't found it already, right? Even though I'm sure you have a great understanding because you have dealt with different personalities, but you got the two. The two is somebody who really understands how to be loyal. You probably got a deep affinity for music too. You can even sing, have a voice. Yeah, definitely. Explore that. Especially as you get older, that sixth vibration picks up. I see all things Venus being just glorified in. As long as you are making the necessary cuts that no longer serve you.
You know what's interesting? Time is going by. We're almost at the hour mark, but before we continue any further, I just want to give the people on the screen, tell us how people can get in touch with you. Everything is at the bottom of that screen right there about Soulcoach.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, the easiest way just to be truthful, I have all of those sites, guys. I have Instagram, links. I have all of them. But if you really want to catch me, I'm always scrolling on. I'm breaking the habit, but I'm on Instagram a lot. Okay, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Clubhouse. I do a show every week on Clubhouse that I speak on different topics dealing with astrology, numerology. I have my Instagram connected to Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, you're going to get some wisdom and information from me. I'm on Facebook and I'm also on Twitter. All information is correct at the bottom of the screen. And if you like anything whatsoever that you heard today, my debut book is titled The Soulcoach. Count It All. It's on sale on Amazon. You can also pick it up on my website. And just, you're not interested in buying the brother book, but you do want to show support. My Cash App is at the bottom of the screen. I greatly
Very good, very good, very good, very good.
$1, nickel, penny. I appreciate everybody.
Very good, very good, very good. And in fact, how I met you was on Clubhouse.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
And I tell people, I said, if you got a gift that you think you want to share with my viewers, come forward. You were the only one that stepped forward.
Really?
Yes.
Oh man.
You're the only one.
All the ones in my name.
All the people in the room with all those gifts, you were the only one that stepped forward. So here it is. Here it is. You see what I'm saying?
You know what? And it's amazing because, man, Lord, I'll be honest with you. I have been dying for the chance to speak with you and the brother, the great Motivator.
Simon, my man.
Listen, I did your course many moons ago. I think right when you released it, when we went on COVID lockdown.
Yeah, that was in February 2020.
Right, I did it as soon as you did it. Right, so I got it cheap. Look now, but I did.
You know what? That's the only time I promote it when it's cheap. So people don't have an excuse to say, "Oh man, I ain't got no money." I don't play that. So you have no excuse not to get it. I mean, I wish I could get it at the full retail price, but I would rather have people have the knowledge and save some money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
so I'm about a higher call.
And I got the Lloyd numbers and I've already had all your books, right? So I've already been on your wave. That's a no-brainer. So like I've been dying to get on to get in contact with you, obviously, for some time now, King Simon. And I've been really interested in getting on Black Magic 363 because I've been doing this a long time, but I'm really now just kind of branching out professionally to help people. But like me in my community and friends, all that good stuff. I mean, that's what I'm known for. Soulcoach. Everybody knows me here for numerology, astrology, and health and fitness. But now I feel it's time for the world.
Well, I'll tell you this. You need to write a numerology book.
Okay.
You need to write a book on the subject of numerology. You have a unique way of how you explain it, a unique way of how you break it down, and that in and of itself will have a whole different flavor to this ancient African science of numerology.
Will do. Duly noted.
Yeah. So we're going to read a couple of more people. I'm going to take a break to let them know who's going to be on next week. But we're going to take just a couple more people so they can see how you shine. All righty?
Okay. Right on.
Let's see. This person here is born on March the 1st. Aida James.
81. It's my year. All right. You're a special person, whoever you are. You got a royal conjunction in the sign. I don't know if they're in Libra yet or they're in Virgo, but you got Jupiter and Saturn really, really close together. That happens once every 20 years. The greats. Let me get off my ego. Great people in the have that. Bruce Lee had a very prominent Jupiter Saturn conjunction, right? But let's talk about who you are. You're a 5 life path, real easy. You came in the karmic energy of the 19 over 1. Anybody with a 19 over 1, I'm going to tell you this, no man is an island, and never be afraid to ask for help. You'd be surprised who helped you. You just got out of your ego and asked for it. All right, especially this person right here. You're a Pisces, though, with the 5. So that's the mind. Pisces is the subconscious mind, right? Pisces is like 90% of, it's the memory. The 12th house is the memory. Great memory bank is everything. So a big part of you has to, let me retract some of that. Your path is 5. So it's really all about localizing some of your imagination and your mind power, because you got so much of it. You're a researcher and somebody who likes to study, right? Like to finish things, because your vision number is on the number 4. Number 4 is Uranus. It's all about quick insight, but it's not just a pace. It's a difference. It's a finisher, because Aquarius, Uranus rules Aquarius, and Aquarius is fixed air. So this gives you a very fixed approach to the way you see things, and you have to be careful of that. Being a Pisces makes you a mutable person, but the way you see things can be a little stubborn. That's the most stubborn number is number 4 and 8, right? But you probably need that being a Pisces. Issue is you got a lot of 1 energy too. 4 and 1, they get along great together, but that's about the objective, the goal. It's all about getting it done. It's not about interpersonal relationships and dealing with people. The number 2 is your challenge number. That's all about close interpersonal relationships. So just a little tidbit of information, how to deal with that. Learn to not be clingy, let go of people that no longer serve you a little sooner. Speak up as well. So you got the one, you're going to want to do it 1 or 2 ways. You're going to speak up and talk too much, or you're not going to speak up soon enough. And I'm going to probably put it to where you don't speak up soon enough. So be mindful of allowing things to get a little too far for too long. Speak up a little sooner.
Now we're gonna do 2 more people. Alrighty. Now
Okay.
you do personal consultations too, so I'm gonna put that up. Okay, good.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna do 2 more, and then I'm gonna let people know who is going to be on the show next week. Okay, so this is Yvette Wilkins. What do you say for Yvette Wilkins?
Okay. Mr. Ben Wilkins, check you out. 10, 16, 20, 29. You're 4 life path, right? It's all about finishing things, being a researcher. But you are a scorpionic personality. Strong. I would tell you automatically, yoga is your friend. As above, so below is the rule. You need to make sure that you become, keep your mind open and inflexible. Being a Scorpio is automatically, you're already keen to all this type of information, occult knowledge. The number 9 is Mars. Mars, the ancient ruler of Scorpio. That's really good. That means you got some balance with who you are. But you got all this emotional 2 energy, and the number 11 is the number of chaos. You got 2 of them up front, and the way you see things is through that number, through that master number. That's all about death and I'm sorry, it's not about death and that's all about chaos and events happening for you to learn from, so you can go back and teach others. In fact, you got them up front and they so early. A lot of early life may have seemed like it wasn't fair, but everything happened for a reason. You went through all of that so you can come back and understand how to be a healer and a beacon of light for others with that number 9. 9 is the hermit in Tarot, right? 9 is the great wisdom bearer, humanitarian of wisdom, but at the same time, it has to understand that its own emotions and high sensitivity levels can make it warring and get in the wrong way. Learn to be alone more. Number 7 is your challenge number. Being alone will help intuition pick up. Intuition is your challenge. If you learn to follow it, life is up. Number 7 is the number of intuition. That's your challenge. So 10,
Very
16.
good. Very good. What about Keisha? This is
All
the
right,
last one.
Last one. 10, 17, 23. You're a 5 life. Getting a lot of 5s on here. All right. So this is a Scorpio, another Scorpionic personality, but he's born in the month of October. The wheel of fortune, I like to call it. Everybody with a 10 or born on the 10th or born in the month of October has some of this quality. This is understanding how to turn money, but not necessarily keep it, right? Let's look at your path and see if that's going to be necessarily true for you. 10, 17, 23. Okay, I said that already. 5. So that's good.
Yep.
Yeah, with that hedge fund mentality, you're a 5 life path. Somebody who understands how to move off the beaten path and stay balanced. It's all about numbers, business, understanding how to be mentally flexible. All right, this is a very, very business oriented number. You see things in this big global mindset in the number 9. You have a global vision, the way you're a visionary. the way you see things. You have the ability to speak things into existence too, because you got the number 27 in a prominent place of your vision, your foresight. It gives you a little bit of ego, and it gives you this high level of authority. And you have to watch dealing with authority, because you're probably not gonna like it much. Well, let me not say you're not gonna like it, because Libra deals with authority and is the judge. But people are gonna see that in you, and it can cause conflict at times. You got a 9 and a 1 there. Just think, growing up, being young with these type of numbers, that's wisdom and power. An old person, well, your elders are not going to see that in a baby. So it's something you have to kind of adapt with as you got older. You got wisdom numbers up front. That's how I like to put it. But being a number 5, as life goes, you just become, it just gets better and better and better. To be honest, you learn how to move with the punches, how to roll with the punches, how to make decisions on the fly. That number 8 is all about big business, right? It's all about understanding how to be honest and I don't want to say formally, but it's the builder. It's the second builder of the whole of the number line. So being honest, honorable, and staying on your path is highly important. You can do whatever you want. That's crazy. The number 5 is the number of versatility. It's Mercury, Gemini, Virgo. You can do whatever you want. There's no wrong way to do the research. So that's it.
My brother, I cannot tell you what fun this is. Hold on one second. I need to let people know who is going to be on next week, and I'll be right with you, okay? Just sit tight, my brother. This was great. Everybody, let me tell you, I'm going to have, to me, well, all my shows are good. I mean, I enjoy my guests. So if I'm partial, yes, I am. I think I do have a reason to be a little partial to all of the people that come on my show, because that is how we do. Now, next week, by the way, this is, let me do this. This is Soul Coach's book. Please get his book. It is available at his website, okay? It is available at Amazon.com. You got to get the brother's book, all righty? No excuses. I have my autographed copy. I always ask for books like that. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it is an amazing piece, and the brother's not lying. Next Monday, the 6th, I have some of the most beautiful women on the planet in the world of the tarot. I call them the ladies of the tarot. There is Oracle, all right. There is Paris Williams. There is Kay Cosmic, and there is Callie. I've had every single one of these women on. All of them. We're going to have a special extended edition of the show on Monday. All 4 of them will be on to give you readings. Now, all 4 ain't gonna give one person one reading. Now, we ain't gonna do that. So, you can either call in and say you want this one, or you'll do a term, but we will work it out. So you will have a wonderful, wonderful experience. And you know what is so interesting, Coach? You mentioned that one of the things was the tarot reading. Okay, so I'll get to that in a minute. Also, let's see. Also on Wednesday, I'm going to have this number Swami back on again. Alrighty. She is going to be on Wednesday the 8th. The sun will be in Libra, the moon will be in Libra, so she's going to be talking about, I mean, love potions or whatever the case is. I'm just speaking. I don't even know what she's going to talk about, but knowing her, she's going to come up with something very innovative, being an Aquarian. My monthly newsletter for June is out. It is out. So all you got to do is go to my website. It is absolutely free. Okay, no excuses. It's absolutely free. Just go to my website, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. That's LLOYD-STRAYHORN.com. Go onto my website, sign up and get the free monthly newsletter, or you can go to my writing half, Kaya French, and go to KayaFrench.com and get it there. But either one of these sites, all you do is free. No, we do not sell your email list. Somebody had asked that months ago, so I remind everybody we don't do that. Now, if I got something popping or she got something popping, yes, you will get it. But over and above that, your list will not be so. We take it as a very sacred honor that you trust us enough to share that information. You can give your birthday if you want to. Tomorrow, I will be featured in Clubhouse on Thursday. It's Learn from Lloyd with Numerology at 7 p.m., 7 to 8. That's how I met the Soul Coach. Okay, he was minding his business. All right. not say like, yo, brother, like, would you like to be a guest on the show? He left me a back message or whatever they call that in Clubhouse. Left me a message, left me his phone number, and there you see him on the screen. So going back again, please pick up the newsletter that's out now, June the 1st. Uh, all you got to do is just sign up for the course. I mean, sign up for the newsletter. It's free. You must leave your email address so we can mail it back to you. Alrighty. And Wednesday, the 8th, the number Swami will be there. Then on this Monday, this is going to be an amazing show with 4 amazing women to do that. And also be sure to pick up my guest's book, the Soulcoach. This brother is back. Okay. So this is nice. So let me get back to this. Okay. Good. Okay. Soulcoach,
Still here.
I want to thank you, buddy.
Oh,
I want
man,
to thank
you.
you. You
It's a
need to
pleasure.
write a book. You
Yes,
need
sir.
to write a book.
I will. You know what? I'm gonna take heed to that. I think I'm gonna get started on that immediately.
That's what I did with Simon. That's what I did with Brandon. I'm on Jackie's case now. Jackie Levine. I'm on her case. Girl, you got to write a book. Kaya's worked on one. So because these are sciences that are old and out of Africa, so it is nice to have people do this. So anyway, so do you have any last parting words, my friend?
Well, no, that's about it. I just like to thank everybody for, man, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here right now. Listening to me and the great Lloyd Strayhorn. I greatly appreciate everybody. Please, like you said, pick up my book, Count It All. I feel it's my masterpiece at this point of my life. It's the only thing I've ever put out. So
No,
yeah,
it's a great book. It's a great book. I bear witness. It's a great book.
great
So
deal.
listen, Soul Coach, really, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. This was really nice. And it's nice to see. And King Simon normally watches this show. So I'm sure King Simon might have you on this show, and I'll be tuning in myself to see you.
Okay,
Okay.
great. Yes,
Brother,
sir.
have a blessed day. Thank you. Be safe there in the city of Houston. I was in Houston long ago. I enjoyed it. It's a beautiful city. Do they still have the Shrine of the Black Madonna there?
I believe so. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
because that's where I did my lecture.
Okay, yeah, it's not far from me where I'm at, actually.
Yeah, that's where I did my lecture, the Shrine of the Black
We
Madonna
gotta
there
get you
in
back
Houston.
out of here soon, Mr. Lloyd.
Huh?
We gotta get you back out to Houston soon, then, man. It's been too long.
Yeah, I gotta come back. Man, thank you so much. You have a blessed day, and thank you for taking your valuable time to come on and share it. And by the way, before I leave, let me say this too in closing: that please, any of the shows, I believe it or not, I'm working on. I think you about the 97th show, 98th show that I've done. Hold on, let me get back into this. I think coach about number 97, 98. Somebody says when you get to 100 shows, you should have balloons and all that stuff. I hadn't even thought about that, man. It's just amazing that it's got to this point. But what I'm saying is past shows that you see, for those that have missed the show that we have here with Soul Coach, if in about maybe 10 or 15 minutes later, you'll be able to see it on YouTube. All of my shows, past shows, the Yan Love, you name it. I mean, I got a slew of giants that bring these things forth. And by the way, please show Soul Coach some love by going to that last segment there on his banner and there and support the brother and his work because I'm going to encourage him to definitely publish a book on numerology. So and then I'm going to want an autograph copy. You know, that's my that's
Yep.
all I ask of my students. Just give me an autograph copy. I'm happy. Thank you, man. You have a blessed day. All righty.
Thank
Okay,
you.
take care, buddy. For all of you, I want to thank you very much for the bottom of my heart. On Monday, this sound thing is going to be resolved. Trust me on this. I don't know what's going on. Mercury goes ends on Friday the 3rd. So maybe it'll be this is the first time this has ever happened with my guest Monday. I'm going to have Dr. Uchenna back on so I can get more into depth with it. He just by the volume, core volume quality, he carried that show by himself, but he's an amazing man that I have much to thank for. So everybody, y'all have a very blessed day. Thank you very much. And for the sound, I don't know what to tell you what's going on. I did the best I could, okay? And I'm going to see what I can do later on. But in the meantime, have a great weekend.